The light bulb in the corner of the small, run-down apartment flickered like a heartbeat, unsteady, fading. Elena sat curled on the frayed edge of a couch that had seen better years, arms wrapped tightly around herself. It was late, the kind of late where the world outside fell silent, but her mind wouldn't stop screaming. Next to her, on a thin mattress laid on the floor, 5-year-old Mia slept soundly, unaware of the storm her mother was drowning in.
The rent was 3 weeks overdue. The envelope on the table contained a final notice from the power company. Her job at the diner had been cut during layoffs last month, and the last of her savings had gone toward keeping Mia fed. Her ex had walked out when things got tough. No calls, no child support, just silence.
Elena stared at a cracked mug in her hand, a chipped yellow ceramic thing with faded sunflowers on the side. She had nearly thrown it out many times. But it had been a gift from her late mother, and somehow even broken, it stayed. Much like her, she let the tears fall quietly, ashamed of their familiarity.
"I've failed.
She whispered into the dim light.
Mia deserves so much more than this."
And then a small voice, soft and sleepy, floated from the mattress.
Mama, are we gonna be okay?
Elena froze.
"I had a dream."
Mia mumbled, eyes barely open.
We had our own little house, and you smiled a lot. You looked happy.
Something shifted, just a fraction, but it was enough. Elena swallowed hard, brushing away a tear.
"Yeah, baby.
She said softly.
We're gonna be okay."
That night, after Mia drifted back to sleep, Elena stood up. She cleaned the dishes. She folded the laundry. And then, on a piece of scrap paper, she wrote 3 simple words. One step forward.
Over the next few weeks, Elena clung to that mantra. She found a part-time job at a local bakery, sweeping floors and boxing pastries. The pay was small, but the owner, Mrs. Kapoor, offered leftover bread at the end of each day, and warm smiles that Elena hadn't realized she missed.
In the quiet hours after Mia fell asleep, Elena taught herself digital skills using free online courses. She learned how to design flyers and menus, sparked by helping Mrs. Kapoor update the bakery's chalkboard signs. The compliments encouraged her, made her believe she had something to offer.
Not everything was smooth. One morning, Elena showed up late to an interview, soaked from a sudden rainstorm, and was dismissed without a second glance. Another day, she broke down when a bill reminder came in the mail. But slowly, the lows weren't as low. And the highs, Mia's laughter when Elena baked cupcakes from scratch, a compliment from a customer at the bakery, began to string together like pearls on a thread. Months passed. With savings from her job and a small freelance design gig she'd landed online, Elena found a modest apartment in a safer part of town. It wasn't fancy, but it had 2 rooms, a little balcony, and morning sunlight that poured into Mia's room like a promise. On the day they moved in, Elena unpacked that old cracked mug and placed it carefully by the kitchen sink. She smiled at it, no longer a reminder of loss, but of how far they'd come.
By the following spring, she'd registered her own small business, Bright Start Designs, offering affordable branding for local shops. Word spread. Clients came in slowly, but they came.
One morning, Elena stood on the balcony with Mia, both holding cups of warm tea. They watched the sun rise, golden and soft. Mia leaned into her.
Mama,
She said.
you smile a lot now.
Elena kissed her daughter's head, eyes damp.
"That's because I finally believe we're going to be okay."
Takeaway message. Life doesn't always give us choices. Sometimes it just takes. But when you're down to nothing, even a small hope, a child's dream, a cracked mug, a kind word, can be the spark that lights your path. Because rock bottom isn't the end. It's where you find the strength to rise. So ask yourself, what's your first step?